All right. What's going on? What's going on, guys? How are you today? Welcome back to the live stream. So glad to have you back in the house. Draw with the rounds of the day. So, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I promised you a live stream, and I'm a man that likes to keep up with my promises. So today, what am I doing today? Let me go back over here. I'm gonna go put my gallery right here. I think I downloaded those faces, so I got some faces over here. And today, what I want to do is kind of work with my full faces. So that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work with a couple of these faces, and then I'll talk as I'm going through it. Not necessarily a whole bunch of instructing, but you can follow me if you do wish to do so. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. We're gonna start with this face here, and I'm gonna go with my. Let me see here. I'm just gonna do this as a little warm up here. I like to use the bean shape for my little faces. I feel like the more bean you can go, the easier it is. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go bean here on my shape, and let's see if we can get that light out of there. That's too much light. There we go. About right there and right there. Make sure we got that in there right. Okay, so we're gonna do the bean shape, and then here, let me see from this bean shape, what am I gonna do here? I just want to go with a little round shape. Sometimes what happens when I'm drawing these, I don't want to. Again, sometimes I don't want to commit to the shape that I'm seeing because I think, man, that doesn't look like the reference, because we're constantly going back to the reference. But when you do what you know versus what you see, things become a little bit better for you, So here I'm just going to do, let me see what kind of shape I do here. You know what? Let's do this. Okay, we're going to go up like that. That's cool. And then we'll just do it like this here. Okay, with some little potato chips right there, okay? And we'll do our nose shape here. Okay, again, keeping our shapes very simple. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll add our mouth shape. So we'll just kind of wrap around the bottom of the cheek here. We'll come around and go to the bottom of this cheek. And then we're going to go from there. And we're going to come back around here like so. Gives us a nice expressive little smile. Easy for us to do. You don't need a lot of commotion to do your picture. Right? All you need is a little bit spatial awareness. The better you get at your spatial awareness, the better this will be for you. Right? Okay, so I got my shapes here all done out. Okay, and I think that we did a pretty good little mini caricature. Let's give him a little floating chin here, right? And then we got his little head right here. Okay, so you can see that bean shape, real powerful, guys, when drawing little caricatures of people. All right, so I can just color this part in here. Now let's just continue to draw some big faces, okay? Over here, let me get one of my. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me see here. Get this out here, and we'll just add some shadows to the small drawing. I probably could just use the other side of this marker here because it's a little bit thinner. Let me just do like this here and make some little shadows here for when we got little people, little caricatures, right? Okay. So we got a nice little bitty caricature of your guy right there. Okay. So what other ways can we approach that caricature? We can go with a little bit of a wider situation. So let's say, what if I went a little wider, like a little flatter and wider with the shape? Okay. And then I put this here, and I just go around it like that. Okay, that looks a little bit better, right? Let's see if we do, let's see, what if I do this shape here? What if I do like a bridge shape? Okay, and then I come back with this shape here. That's interesting. I actually turned the shape upside down. That was awesome. Okay, then we get our nose shape here. Okay, and then we get our mouth shape here. Okay, and some teeth here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And then we'll put our ear shapes out here. Again, we're just coming up with different variations and learning to develop confidence in the shape that we are using. That is really the name of the game. Once you learn something, it's all about developing the confidence to be able to use it. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's one thing to know, but it's also one thing to believe what you know is actually to be the truth about something. And nothing expresses that better than a creative person. When they're creating, it all comes out on the paper what they actually believe, right? If they believe in the training and the practice and the time, or it reveals whether they didn't practice really that much. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a, you know, it's a hit or miss kind of a situation. Yes. Okay. Let me see here. Let's go with let's see what else we can do with that shape. So we're using and creating multiple different versions of the same person, and then we'll go into some other full faces here as well. So feel free to make requests, comments, right? If something you don't understand about what I'm showing you today, you can also always ask questions. Okay. So here I'm just creating a little shadow on my drawing to see how my character came out, right? Again, I don't believe in doing unnecessary lines in the drawings, or I don't do certain types of themes. You know, everybody got their own way of approaching this. So I'm not trying to turn you into me. I want you to be you. I think you're going to be the best. You're going to be the most qualified person for that position. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we got that one. Wow, that one came out really good. So here, both of them look like him. I can see both of them. I can see a little bit more here because of the face is a lot wider. In the disparity down here. So I like those imbalances create for much more dynamic pictures than if you just copy the picture and try to pass it off as a caricature. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's mosey on over here and see what we got. We got another lady right here. Okay, now this shape here, let me see something. So is it this shape is more like this one? Well, that shape, this one here, actually this shape was the same thing too. So maybe I could have just went like this in the beginning with the forehead shape, and then just go ahead and stay close to this area. So you see how I did with this one right here? I stayed close to the area, to the head shape area. Over here it's a different shape here, but then what I'll do here is I think I can create like little wedgy shapes here that literally wrap around this head shape. Okay. So I just create a shape. It's easier to do it this way. And it's much more believable. You see? You see how much more believable this is than if you just do a whole bunch of lines in the picture, right? You see? So that's easier. So what I'm finding here is this commonality of a bulb shape at the bottom of my drawing. So let me see here. Here I'm going to do some more arcing shapes. I'm going to have a little bit more dead space in the middle than I had on the outside. So I'm paying attention to that now today. I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to put quite a bit of dead space here. Again, I want to make sure that I have a lot of space, more space between the eye shapes so that everything isn't pulled together too much. And so that I can maintain that likeness. Okay. So just like so. And I'm going to try to move down here a bit, guys, because I know y'all want to see a little bit closer what I'm doing. So I think that might be a better looking shot right there. I think you guys will be able to see that right here. All right, let me see. There we go. Let me see. Is that, I think that's good. That's good, right? Okay. In fact, let me just push this up and then we'll go up some more. This way it'll be kind of right by the side of the paper. Okay, and now from here we'll go to our nose shape. So our nose shape tends to fill this shape up here, but in a longer kind of a way. Okay, and then this is a little bit skinnier, and then we have our mouth shape here. So we're going to create our cheeks again, right, to create those smiles. Okay, and then we'll put our lips in here, and then we'll put this in there. Okay, so that looks great. All right, real good. And if you want to put some curls in here, whatever you can, just don't overdo it. You know what I mean? You can do something like this maybe. I like to use, again, as least lines as possible. I just want to get the point across. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Get a little bit of eyelashes here, and I think that's it right there. I think that's a good one, right? So what we'll do here is just shadow it in real quick. Okay, so let's just go right here. Look at the lipstick here. Very small lips. Some shadows. Some things are best done in shadows. Just makes a much more dynamic type of a situation here. Okay. There we go. That looks great. And then we can just color our hair in. I did a huge caricature last night. One with about maybe 11 or 12 people in it. It's pretty fun. Right? And so here we can see we got a good little cartoon of her, right? It's real simple. Okay, keeping that basic head shape. Okay, we're doing full face figures today. Full faces, guys. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Okay, we have another full face here. Okay, well, we can try that. So let's just go ahead and get another sheet of paper out here. I'm not going to keep you guys long today. I'm going to be going to work here shortly, so I'll probably to start my word of the day at about 12:30 or so, because I know I started late, but I wanted to give you something on this Saturday. Okay, so here we have another face with the full cheeks. So we want to just kind of capture the forehead shape and then a bulb connected. Okay, so you want the whole thing to this is the word bulby, right? You want it to be bulby when you do it. Okay, so you know your ears will always fit on the bulb. Okay, so that's the rules of this: ears on bulb, ears on bulb, right? Okay, and then we'll just do our shape here, and again we want to build our confidence in the shape. That's what I'm doing by drawing the hair just around it and keeping in mind that this is not going to fit like the picture itself. It's just going to look like or feel like the picture. See, like this. Okay, so very simple shapes. Okay. So we're going to just go ahead and decorate in here a little bit. Remember, you can't mess up. We know Bob Ross said it's happy accidents, right? Happy accidents. Okay, that means that you gotta, just keep going. Don't think about all the messing up all the time. Okay, some little curls here. And let's see what else our little character could be doing here. I like the way her eyebrows. So we're gonna use you know what? I like these eyebrows right here. I think every time, I wonder if there's a way I could get away with. Let me see. Now look at that. See that dead space between the eyes? Very pronounced here between the eyes. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So that when I draw this, it's between the eyes. Right. And again, sometimes drawing it like this, or believing your decision is right. Sometimes it's hard to obey what you said, but you still have to find it in yourself to do it, right? All right, and then we got our little eyes here, and then we got some eyelashes. Okay, so let's see if we can give her a quick little smile right here. Okay, guys, so we'll do something like, let me see, something like this here. Okay, are we coming around? Are we coming around here? Gives our smile a nice little energy to it. And we'll just do our teeth here. Okay, and then up here, if you want to add again a little bit of pattern, there's nothing wrong with that. Just try to keep your lines minimal. You don't want that many lines in your picture. Okay, so this is her half body here, and then this will be my shovel shape. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is my caricature, right? Now we'll go ahead and we'll add some shadow here. Some lipstick, right? That's cool. Put lipstick without lips. Hey, it did this little shadow here. All right. Okay, so I think that one came out pretty cool. I think it was alright anyway. You'll laugh at your pictures. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's our picture of the young lady here. Again, we just making sure we get that bulb shape. So we got the, let's go right here. I don't know if we did this guy. Did we do that guy already? Let me see. What was that first guy? No, we did another guy. Okay, so let's try this guy right here. Okay, so we're just going to kind of, I think I got enough space over here. So I'm going to kind of move this over just a bit and move my paper here over so you guys can see. Okay, and then again, what are we going to do here? We're going to go with our top shape, kind of foreshorten. So we want to foreshorten, no, not foreshorten, but we want to shorten our top relationship, and we want to build our bottom relationship in a bulby kind of a manner. Okay, this particular one, his chin is sitting off of the shape, so it looks like a lot of openness down here. And then we can see our ear shape just goes here and on the side. Okay, so it's going to look a little bit different than your picture. And then we do like this, and we come around and we follow our shape, and then we put our little piece of hair there, right? You can see that's his little face right there. Now we can go here and say, you know what, I want to put my cheeks here and here, however you want to do it. You can do like this, bring this around like that, right? Get a nice little smile there. Okay, keep everything general. And then that will then in turn lead to our nose shape here, which then in turn leads to our bridge shape here, which then in turn leads to our eyebrow shape, which we can see here. He doesn't have a great deal of space, but they are in between his eyes, so they are closer. So what I might do here is use my little same shape here, right? My noodle shapes, right? And then I can just come in here, right? And I can use these shapes here to build the rest of my face. And then you can see that nice symmetry just so come out in your picture, right? Just like so. Okay, so you got the top of the cheek up here, right? Bottom of the cheek down there. And it looks like all the energy is just like flowing and flowing and flowing and going with each other. So super awesome there. Okay. The bottom here. And then we'll just put his shirt. And we can see here that he's a rather big guy. Right? Something like that. Okay, now we got our little half body. Our half body picture, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Now let's do our shadows. Awesome. Let me see here. Don't forget, guys, tips are awesome if you feel like you're benefiting from the stream, man. You're learning with me today. Tips are awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Okay. So we got a good little picture there, right? And we just kind of, again, we're following our instincts about things. Things are going to be a little bit different in your caricatured in your picture, so you have to actually, you have to come to grips with that and let that be okay. You know what I mean? Let that be okay. The world. Okay. All right. Let me see here. So let's find another one. We got another face here. So let's try this one at the very bottom here. I don't know how I'm gonna get that one to. Let's see. All right. There we go. Just like that. All right. So this one I'm gonna draw with my. Let's put this one aside. Okay, so let's try this with this marker. I don't know. Let's see. All right, this is black over there. This is black. Okay, so that means I can do this, right? And then I can do this. So remember, this is the general idea of the picture. Okay, just like that. Then you got your eyebrows, right? So you come over here, boom, boom. You got a little bit of space in between, more space to the outside. So I want to make sure that my space here is covered. The cool part about these is the space in the middle becomes smaller, stretching the eye shape out into the eyes. Right? So we got this little space right here. And then we have, we can actually put our cheeks in first. I think that would be a good thing instead of putting the eyes in. Maybe here I could go with, I can go here and here for his cheeks. And then I want to kind of drop him down here and make him point toward there. Like that. I could have made it touch, but I decided not to. And then here you'll have like your little, you see what I'm saying? Okay. Now when you get to the eye shape, you'll see like the rhythm of things, right? So you'll see that things are kind of doing like this, you know what I'm saying? Like that. So if it's like that, then our eye shape is like, it's kind of coming off of that line. And then you have your eyes inside of that shape like this. You get what I'm saying? So everything is like in a rhythm, like right in here. Okay? See the rhythm of the cheeks, the rhythms of the eyes. I'll fit those things all together to create a more readable emotion in my character. Okay, so a lot of the times I'm drawing from here, right, and not in here. I'm drawing from here at my heart, not necessarily mechanical. But you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do it like that because, again, it limits you, it slows you down, Okay? So, I don't think we really need to do anything else to that one. That was just, how it goes, right? And you put your neck, and then you put your little features here. That's a little quick caricature, real quick, right? Okay, let's do our next one. And these will do, and now what we're going to do is attack them all, but we're going to attack them just like if we were drawing like live. So I'm just going to use my regular old marker here, and we're going to make a simple little cartoon, okay, that anybody should be able to follow if you watch it. Okay? All right. So let's see here. What about... I don't want to... Okay, let's go over here. Give me some more paper out here. Okay, so we're going to try this face here. We're going to downsize her just a bit. Okay. And remember with your wide faces, I'm going to slide up just a bit here because I'm too close to the paper and I can't center everything on the screen like I want. I want to make sure that when we have to edit this, I don't have to do a whole bunch of moving around. Okay, so this picture, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come back with our top head shape, okay? Look at the pattern, and then we'll come back with our bulb shape. So we have a bulb type shape. And then once you draw the bulb, then you draw I can draw my little ears here, make them small, okay? Again, I'm drawing from a lot from memory and knowing where proportions go to, right? So I can do this here and just kind of make her hair go around like this. And then from there, I can come up here and I'm just making my hair wrap around this figure. And I'm trying to do it with as least lines as possible, okay? Here we got our neck shape. I could have went where her neck kind of just flowed down into her body, and I could have used shadows down here to bring this in, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So here we just got 1, 2, and I'm gonna just do 3 braids on each side just to get a quick little idea of what I want to do. Now once I do that, I'm inside of here. What I can do is let's just say I'll use I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use I'm going to go with my right triangle. I'm going to keep a lot of space in between the eyes because I don't want her eyes to be too close together. Okay, which means that now once I understand that, then I can come out here and say, okay, well, how do I want her cheeks to be? And so what I want is her cheeks about right here and right here. So I just kind of create the lines for the cheeks. And then from there, I'll come here and I just go from top to top and bottom to bottom to create the middle of the mouth like I want. And then I create the actual nose shape. I mean the bottom lip and then the literal nose shape, which goes like right in between those two shapes here. Here's her little check. Okay. The final part is to go up here and we can do our separation of the two eyes. And then now we can find out like where her eyes are going to go. So we want to do something like this to create the roundness in the cheeks first. And once I create the roundness in the cheeks, then I can come back and then I can just be like, okay, this is how her eyes sit on top of that roundness. And so it gives me something that's way more dynamic, right? Because I put the picture together with cartoon lines and not realistic lines. And so that made like all the difference in the drawing, right? So this is my little rhombus shape that I use for my eyebrows. And then now we can just add some little eyelashes on there and we get that nice pretty girl look that she got, right? Okay, all right. So we're gonna put some dimples here. And then if you want, you can shade, color your picture in, whatever have you. I like to, when I do these type of, I might do it like this here. I got some colors here. Let me see. And so I might do, I don't know what color. Oh, this is it. This is a good color. So I might do something like this. Sometimes I just kind of go with what it feels like. You know, you could just use these colors here, create a little nice undertone of shadow lines, right? All right. And it looks good. I'm just trying to create that depth, you know what I mean? You do like this. Do the same thing here. Okay. I try not to incorporate too many colors into my drawing. Okay. So you see here, it's not that hard. Once I outline the drawing like I wanted to go, now I kind of treat it like a coloring book. So I color very similarly to how I used to color when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I just created let me see here. Now let's go with, what do we got here? We got some, what color was that? This color? Let me see. Yeah, that was this color here. So I think I want something like about, let's see what else they got in here. Maybe this. Is this lighter than that? No, this seems to be a little bit darker. Let's go with, No, that's peach. We don't want peach. I think we want, what's this? This says beige on it. I think we might want to go with it. Yeah, barely beige. I don't know. Sounds like a color to me. Let's see what happens. So we can use this like as a cool, look, that's a cool little, it's a cool little mid-tone, right? Because again, even with this, it's not about coloring perfectly. It's about impressioning your colors to create different ideas. So now see here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my lighting down just a bit. Let me see. Uh-oh, Bob. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I think it's turned down, but you can see the lighting in there pretty. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go down here and color this part in. All right. I like that. So what is that? Barely beige. Barely beige. Cool. I like that. Okay. Man. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get some pink. We need some peach here. So we get that peach color in there, right? This is like adding a little bit of red or to our drawing, and it really doesn't hurt anything. I like to do it, you know, in my drawings. This is like a, you know, I'm using the threefold color scheme, right? Right? And I'm mixing those colors together because I'm just seeing what I can come up with. That looks pretty. I think that looks very pretty together. Okay, and then we'll come back with our, let's make sure it's 37. Okay, we can go back with our color. So with the color, we have our gray, we have the black. She has black hair. So let's grab this black here. Okay, and we will just kind of just do this here, and then you just color. Just gonna keep it simple. Okay, quick, like that. So we just use the patterns. Use the patterns. Separate in between patterns. Keep in mind, you're not drawing a real picture. You're drawing a portrait. So stop trying to be so perfect. Just let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Now you got some little, braids off of here like that, right? Just like that. You see? And this is where you can put a little bit of realism and detail. You know? Some little eyelashes there, right? Get it real cute right there. There we go. You see that? That's right. There we go. Okay. And then we'll switch over to the other side. Get our fine pointer out, right? And we'll give her some nice little lashes there. And look at that, man. That's beautiful. Okay? So that's how I would work that picture, right? In Browser World, that's what she would look like, okay? So let me see here. I've been here for about 30 minutes. I got to get out of here about 20. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do one more picture for you guys because I'm not going to make this long. I started late. That's my fault. And then I'll stream on Tuesday like I would normally stream. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a word of the day as well. Okay. All right. So let's go with our next picture, our last and final. Okay. So we have another full face here. I'm not sure if we drew this guy, but let's go ahead and try him real quick. Okay. So we'll put this one. Okay. All right, let's study that facial rhythm, guys. That facial rhythm. We're drawing full faces today. You gotta find that rhythm. Okay. Don't forget, guys, if you want to take a class with me, you can take classes at rouserworld.com/classes. I do online classes, so you can take a class with me to learn to draw caricature. We'd love to have you if you guys support us on Patreon, so go over and check out our Patreon page. And then finally, guys, tips are appreciated. If you feel like you're benefiting from the stream, our tips will be going toward our tent fund. So we are still very short of our goal, but we're going to keep bringing that up, seeing if you guys can help us out. We're at 170 of our 950 goals. So if you guys want to help us, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for helping. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead here and put these pictures. You know what? I need to put these pictures over here. I do those live right there. Sam Elliott. I remember him. Okay, then who is this? Okay, all right, so let's go with it. So this is going to be our last drawing of the stream, and then I'm going to do my word of the day, and we'll get you guys out of here. Okay, again, we're studying the full faces. How are you today, Austin? What's going on with you? All right, so we're going to go with our overall head shape again. So for the big face, remember we want a shape that is kind of we want to make sure we have a pearish type of a shape. So here you can see this is going to be the top, and in here you'll see that you have your pear kind of a shape. So everything just kind of bulbs out from the head shape, and then from there we add hair to the shape like this. You see, so this is his actual hair shape here. Up here you'll see that this part is kind of colored in because he's got like a little spike up top, and then he's got his little ears here. You see? So very little. Now, oh, awesome. I'm waiting for you. All right, Austin, I'm gonna see you then. All right, now this is what we're gonna do, right? We have a situation here where the space between his eyes is not very big. Okay, so we have a space, and I want to define what I want to do is figure out which one of these spaces are the biggest. And really, to be honest with you, they look pretty evenly distributed. So what I could do is something like this. I could distribute, right? Then go whoop, and then distribute, right? And then you can see that shape is on the other side there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create little, right? And then I'll come and I'll go down here and I'll say, well, where's my cheeks at? So I'll start looking for those first. Give me a sense of where my eyes and mouth and everything are going to go. So these are my cheeks here. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be coming from off the bottom of the cheek, right, and coming around. So this would pretty much be like what my shape would look like here. Okay, then I'll have my teeth inside of that shape. My nose shape will be inside of this shape. Okay, so everything just kind of fits right in the middle of that. Okay, then we have our eyes. We got our bridge of our nose, or we can just do the separations of that which go here, and then we figure out what what angle the eye is rolling at us from. So we want to go about right here, right, and we want to just roll up in there, and then we want to go real little with these eyes here. So it looks like, you know what I'm saying, just real small like that, right on top of that cheek line. Okay, you see? So you get right on top of that cheek line, you get a real powerful drawing. But you got to understand what you're doing, and in order to do that, you got to take a class with me. Is what it is. I'm going to show you. I'll show you some things in class. Okay, so this is that. Then we come back with our shape here, right? Okay, then we got our little chin here, right? And then we got our little, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. Then that's it. And we just do like this. All right. You should be able to get a picture. Have you ever offended anybody before with your caricatures? Well, I hope so. No, man, so much. No, I've never offended anybody. I don't think that it would. No, because I just don't. In order for them to take offense must have first been in your heart. You get what I'm saying? I think that when you produce things, you produce them with whatever the intention of your heart is. So I never take off with ill will toward good man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I never do that. I just, this is a little shout. I'm just going to do this in black and white. This is my last one because I got to go to work today, man. Gotta feed that family, man. I gotta go out here and get it. I cannot starve as an artist. I can't do it. People are depending on me, so I have to. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? That's a nice picture. And that look just like that. I feel and see his face in this picture. You know what I mean? It's almost uncanny. But so what I'll do here is I'll just come here and I'll just shade this little piece in here. This is what I normally do. I just color that all in. We don't need that. And then this part can be like all of his hair coming forward. So right here, you might just do it with a different pattern. You get what I'm saying? So you'll get your pattern in your head. You got to be thinking about that pattern, right? So you got two shapes, right? Conflictors is what I call them. Okay. So that is drawing numero dos, right? Of our stream. Assign it. Okay. And that, guys, is how you draw 3/4 or big face people. Okay. You utilize that pear shape. You find those, you find your, I like to find the cheeks. Once I do that, I like to do the eyebrows and then find my cheeks. And then everything else kind of fits in once I find those certain landmarkers that I use to create the caricature. So real quick, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stuff out for word of the day. I'll be right back if you guys want to hang around for that. Just give me just a second. Okay, guys, so I am back, and so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started, excuse me, with our word of the day, right? We're going to get started with our word of the day. And so after every stream, we do a word just to, it's like a Bible study that I like to do, share my Bible study time. So this is my way of building an altar, right? Building an altar to God, because you know what? When you say you believe something, then you start building altars for that thing in your life. This is what it is. You'll make opportunities to talk about what you like, what you believe, what you think about, what you feel. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff you build altars to. So if you feel like you want to, for instance, if you're a big drinker, you'll make an altar. You know what I mean? You might go to a certain bar. You might start every time you do it. You might go to a certain place. You might hang out with a certain group of people that do that thing with you. Whether your altar is destructive or whether it's life-giving, we tend to build altars based off of what we find important, what we're actually doing in life. So one way I believe that God can tell whether we really do have a heart for him is he looks at the altars that we've built in our life. Okay, and what sacrifices have we made for him? What are your actions saying? So today, excuse me, we're going to talk about this word and the word of the day today. And let me just put a pin here because my And the word of the day today is what is coming out of you. What comes out of you? What is coming out of you? In other words, when you consume something, okay, there's a biophysical reaction that comes out of you, okay? If you put too much salt in your body, perhaps a result of that might be sweat, too much, your body trying to alleviate it, so it makes sweat. What else does it do in the outside world? What are some of the things that happen noticeably in the outside world? Maybe you might get higher blood pressure. You understand? Maybe if you eat they had a case one time where a guy all he ate was carrots, and his skin began to turn orange because of the beta carotene in the carrot. The chemical that makes carrots orange, the orange that he kept putting in his body actually turned his skin to a hue of orange. So that's our word of the day. What's coming out of you? In scripture, it says, it is not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of him. That is in the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 15. It is not what you are doing, what you're putting in, that defiles you, that makes you that makes your temple not holy, that makes you act unrighteously, that makes you be seen as an unrighteous person in the eyes of God. What defiles you in the eyes of God is what it brings out of you, what leaves you, what happens as a result of what you put in. When I read this scripture, I often focus on what I am consuming. When I read that scripture, I'm almost thinking about the what. Like, is it a candy bar? Is it what is it that I'm consuming? What is it that I'm eating? What is it that I'm watching? What am I listening to? What am I participating in? While those things matter, they do matter. I'm not saying they don't have any significance. Today, the Lord is asking us to examine something else. Again, those things do matter, but we want to examine something else. And that question is, and this is the direct question. This is what we're here for today. This is the question I want you to stop and ask yourself. God wants us to ask ourselves, not just you. I'm asking myself too. What is coming out of me because of what I am consuming? What is coming out of me because of what I'm consuming? Let me give you an example. Again, a person can drink alcohol. A person can watch TV. A person can enjoy hobbies. They can enjoy entertainment. They can even enjoy their success in life. Okay. But the question isn't only what went in to that person. The question is what came out afterwards. Once you did that hobby, an example of that, I like to be transparent. Let's say I can remember being addicted to pornography. Every time I consume pornography, it caused me to feel dirty and ashamed. It caused me to feel mad at my wife and my kids, because I felt like at that point um that they were obstacles to getting what I really wanted, which was the acts that were going on in the video. I wanted that to be, this is what I was being driven by. This is what was happening to me. It had a lot of negative effects on me. So when I consumed it, it began to affect praise and worship. It began to affect every other area of my life. And that's the question that God wants us to really consider. Nothing within itself is inherently bad. What it is the attitude of the person using whatever it is, right? What are their intentions in their heart when they're doing this? And then, of course, it's what were the intentions of the person that made it in the first place? You see, the person that made up pornography or started using that as a weapon to get money from people, right? I don't think that was I don't think he was thinking about us or other men or other marriages or kids or anybody that they were going to affect. The only thing they saw was what? The bottom line. So that might be an example of somebody that was successful according to the world standard, but what came out of them defiled them. It wasn't what they put in. They learned about sex. This person may have whatever, but then that was not a bad thing. But what happened was when it came back out, right, with the condition of their heart, it changed the condition of their heart to a condition of something that was self-serving and didn't care about others. And these are the things that we need to watch out for as we are growing in our walk with Christ and as we are going out there and ministering to others. So it says here, point 1. What is coming out of you? I want to give you 3 points, guys, today. We're going to talk about 3 different things. You can write these things down. And we're going to talk about what comes out of you. And the things is just soil. It's a soil. And then you have seeds that are planted in the soil. And once they are in the body, they begin to grow, and then they produce an outward thing. They produce a fruit. And that fruit reveals what you swallowed. If you swallowed, for instance, the guy with the carrots, I told you he became orange. When he went to the doctor looked at him and he saw the orange color. After all examinations, we've concluded that the root of this problem is that you eat too many carrots. Okay, so we've determined that the root of this problem is you drink too much. The root of this problem is you have no forgiveness. You are hurt by your mom. You were hurt by your brother. You were hurt. And the root of this problem is that every time you think about that, you consume it. Every time you think about it, it's like going like this. Look. Hate, bitterness, anger, rage. You get what I'm saying? My success, my money. Let's drink let's drink the money. Let's consume it. Let's get everything we can get. Let's take advantage of all people. Let's consume. See, once you start consuming it, then it starts producing things. Things that we don't want in our life. I'm sorry. My speaker is glitching. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I see here something's going on with my speaker. Yeah, I know it. I could tell that it's glitching here. Okay. So I might not be able, I don't know what I can do here. Let me see. Can I, hold on a minute. I wonder.